Oh, it was Pearson. It was all personal to me. That was live by the sword, die by the sword situation. You know, I went out there and I put a lot of pressure on myself to win, and not making excuses for myself over the last year, but I've been up and down with health issues. But I'm fully healthy now, getting all that sorted out, and seeing tonight I'm back to being what I do best, and that's putting people away.
I don't think anyone watched that first round thought that fight was going to go 3 at all. Just tell me a little bit about the slugfest.
The first round I was just a little bit too tense, a little bit too hungry to land the big shots, and I was looking for it a little bit too much. The rhythm, I was kind of finding myself off balance a little bit and having to reset myself, so I was just too hungry to put a show on for the fans, you know, and get that knockout bonus, you know what I mean? So once I got back to the corner, my coaches give us a shout and tell enough and instruct us the game plan is staying on rhythm in time. And it wasn't about power. The shots were there, what I knew. I just had to get in a position with speed and rhythm and let my hands go, and they were there.
Sam, he seemed like he was up for it as well.
Oh yeah, I knew Sam was good. Sam was coming in the best shape of his life. I think I knew it was an important fight for him. He wanted to win. He wanted to get back in the win column, and he wanted to knock me out. And you can see what the fight landed. He was standing right in front of me. He was throwing the same shots back. He was taking a shot, coming back with a shot, and he was there to fight. And I was the one that landed the better shots.
Could you tell it seemed like he wanted to be technical, but when you caught him, it's like his natural slug mentality was kicking in.
Yeah.
Could you tell that while you were hitting him?
Exactly. Yeah, I could hear his coaches screaming at him, calling him to relax, reset, breathe. Every time I caught him with like a little shot, and he would like grunt a little bit, he would like give us a little, like as if he was wanting to just go for it, but hold him back a little bit. But he was there throwing down, man. He was there all the way, and it was a question of time for me to get on rhythm. And I knew the shots were there, what wanted to land. It was just a question of making him miss, staying on rhythm, and being comfortable in there.
Playing off his aggression, was that part of the game plan going into it?
Yeah, I said right from the beginning. Offensively, Sam's really good. Defensively, he's poor. He leaves himself open when he stands in the pocket and throws shots, and that was the whole plan. Get in a fight with him, get out, counter him. That was the plan with him the whole long. In and out, picking shots, boom, big shot, bang, let him go, do you know what I mean? And that was the game plan. The first round didn't really go to, I started to slug with him a little bit, but once I got on rhythm and found my range, I was exactly how I should have been.
I mean, that's a danger when you kind of open up that way, when you get too aggressive, when you kind of make it into a slugfest. When you take risks trying to finish the fight is when you kind of leave yourself open. Coming off your last fight, was there not anything mentally in you going like, I gotta calm down, I gotta play this technically?
No, nothing mentally like that. It was a question of who I really am, what type of fighter I am, how can I bounce back, and how many times can I bounce back. I've been up and down, and I've been in the UFC for a long time now. I've had wins, I've had losses, I've fought some great guys, some of the best fighters in the world, and you know, how many times do I need to come back? And it was a question to me to go out there and prove to myself what kind of type of fighter I am. I'll live by the sword and I'll die by the sword, you know. I'll go out there and I'll fight in front of the fans and I'll give 110%. Whether I'm 100% or not, I'll give 100% and fight till the bitter end, because that's what I am. I'm a born fighter.
And what's the motivation for you at this point? I mean, is it going out there and just winning fights, or is that belt really still the goal?
100%. The belt's always the goal. I wouldn't be in the UFC if it wasn't for the belt, you know what I mean? I want to be the best in the world. I believe I've got the best hands. I think I've got the best striking in the UFC lightweight division. I've got the power behind my punches, kicks, knees to put anyone away in this division, you know? So the belt's definitely there. It's in touching distance. I've just got to stay healthy, stay consistent, and keep winning.
Sam's a guy who's been in the UFC a long time. Where do you think this win puts you as far as divisional rankings?
Puts us right back there in the mix, you know. I'm a lightweight, that's knocking guys out. How many other lightweights is knocking guys out apart from Pettis, you know what I mean? Cerrone's another knockout guy, Barbosa's a knockout guy, and they're all coming off losses, you know what I mean? So I'm right up in the mix with anyone, you know. Whoever the UFC offers, I'm willing to fight, you know. That's how hungry I am. I don't shy away from anyone. Joe Silva knows he only has to call, and I'm there for fighting. So it's up to the UFC now, but I want to fight the best people in the world, and that's the top 10. Anyone inside there, anyone.
There's not a name out there that stands out to you?
Why is there's no names there, there's numbers. There's 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't matter who you are, what your name is, where you come from. It's going to be a tough fight. 1, 2, or 3, that's how I want to fight.
How's your left hand? Were you shaking it after the fight?
No, it's my right hand. Yeah, I think I tore ligament in my knuckle about 2 weeks before the fight. So yeah, I had a big wrap done on my hand, and I think I caught him with like a right overhand in the first round on the top of the head. Kind of jarred it up a little bit, but it's a bit swollen, but it'll be good. go for an MRI on Monday.
How does it feel when you land that shot and then you see him on the ground and you're going for that kill? Like, is everything in slow motion? Just like, I don't know. Like,
nah, it's just like,
go through it. Yeah.
Just happens so fast. It's like you don't think about it, you know, think, oh, I'm going to land this shot now and I'm going to hit him because it's too slow, you know, it just happens, it's just instinct. It's that many times in the gym, just doing it repeatedly over and over again until it comes instinctively, so you just see it and your body does what it's mentally prepared to do, and you don't really feel anything or see anything, it just happens that fast, and 1 minute he's in front of your face, the next minute he's on the floor.
And the victory, does this feel any... Does every victory feel like the best victory? I mean, because we saw your celebration. You look, I can't imagine seeing a happier person.
Yeah, man. This fight here was the most personal fight to me out of all my career. All the fights that I've had in the UFC, prior to the UFC up to now, this is the most personal fight that I've had. And nothing against Sam, because Sam's a great guy, but it was all about me and the pressure that I put on myself to really believe where I am in this division and what type of fighter I am, and I put that pressure on myself to go out there and perform well, and no regrets. I was walking out of the dressing room to backstage to walk out, and I was just saying to myself, no regrets, just go out there and have fun, show the world who you are.
What do you attribute that kind of mental reassessment to? Is it just coming off a loss?
It's who you are and where you come from. You know, I'm the type of person I am. My family, everything that we've been through, the highs and the lows, and the life that we've led, you know, and it's who we are. It's how I was born. My family's a fighting family, and I know they're all back there supporting us, and my mum and dad's flew all the way over from England, and my wife's dad's flew all the way over from Australia, and they'll be jumping joy now, they'll be buzzing, and they're so proud of us, and I'm so proud to represent my family and friends.
You got the win, which was great, but like you said, you put so much pressure. Like, this fight was the biggest fight ever. You know, it went your way, definitely. But had it not went your way, were there going to be decisions that you had to think about?
Massively. If this fight didn't go my way, there was massive decisions that I had to think about. Like, where was I going in my career in the UFC? Do you know what I mean? I don't think the UFC think that fight that's going to be out the door anytime soon. You know, because I'm winning fights, but it was personally, what am I going to do in this division? Am I going to be a gatekeeper, or am I going to be a guy that's going to push to the top of the world? And that's the pressure that I put on myself. Am I going to be that guy that's winning and losing, staying around the top 10, top 15 type of guys, or am I going to make statements and get the world talking about us? And that's what I did tonight. I made sure that I went out there and left the octagon with my name all over it.
And depending how the MRI goes, how active do you want to be this year? Do you want to get back in the cage as quick as possible, or are you willing to wait for an opponent, a different opponent?
I would like to stay consistent 3 years. You know, 3 fights this year. I would like to stay consistent, but I want to be healthy. I've fought too many fights unhealthy and not making excuses. I'm at that age now, and I'm at that point in my career where I'm getting to be a draw for the UFC. I've had 1 main event, 4 co-main events on fight nights, and I've headlined a prelim on a UFC 185 card. It's time to step up to the main card, the pay-per-views and the big names of the UFC, and give me my shot.
And one thing, how does it feel? Is it a different type of pressure knowing your family is right there watching in such an important fight to you, or is that exciting, or what is it like?
Nah, no one beats us up as much as what my mum does, so I'm all good. No, my mum and dad are a massive fan, and they love the sport. My mum's a huge fight fan. She was the one that took us to all my boxing fights, my taekwondo fights, my judo fights. She was always, my mum and dad's always been there and supported us in everything they do. From a little kid being 6-7-year-old, I told my mum I wanted to fight for a living, and that's what they knew what I wanted to do, you know. So they've always been around the martial arts world. They love the sport, they love the UFC, and they buy the pay-per-views, they stay and watch it, so they're massive fans, and of course I'm the biggest fan. They're my number one fans, and they travel the world and support us, and yeah, it's an honour to fight in front of them, and yeah, Team Pearson.